What's up, book besties? Get comfy, get cozy. It's time to chill. I'm Cassie.
And I'm Emily, and this is Book Bits and Chill, the podcast where we break down every chapter, thirst over fictional men, and never take ourselves too seriously.
That's right. You're finishing up our coverage of the book that is quite literally my Super Bowl. I actually read this book from sunup to sundown the other day, and I had the best time. I started at 5 a.m. and I didn't end till 11 p.m.
The amount of girly screaming I did to Cassie about how I was having so much fun reading. This is the reason why these open up people's eyes to the world of reading.
Truly, truly. I see it. I understand the magic. I will never doubt it ever again in my life. And just for context for those listening, the book that we just reread was A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This beautiful, beautiful book was just such a blast to reread. And we're getting into the back half of it, which is juicy. There was a lot of things that went down, particularly in the last, literally 5 chapters, which, Sarah, you're just insane for. But had the best time and ready to dig in. I think on the last episode, we left off at the summer court.
Yes, and if you listened to this episode before, you know that this is going to be full of spoilers for not just this book, but the whole series. So if you have not read these books before, run to Barnes and Nobles, grab these books, read it, and then listen to our episodes after to see if you caught the same things we did. So let's get into a little intro before we do our character rankings and our Easter eggs.
What? Okay, do you want to kick us off?
Yes, blast us to vacation, the land of sun, sand, and sea, the summer court. We are there with yeah, baby. We're there with Rhys, Amren, and Feyre, and they are on a mission to find the Book of Breathings. They are welcomed to the summer court by my lord himself, Tarquin. They are on a mission to find the first half of the Book of Breathings. They know that the second half lives with the mortal queens, and that will be more to come. But right now, they have got to find this first half. They're going to use Feyre's knowledge of being made and being able to talk to other things that are made to try to find this book. So they have to butter up the people a little bit while they're there.
Butter them up.
And they decide to do that by go about flirting with every human being that exists. So Feyre is on a mission to flirt with High Lord Tarquin. So they're just trying to basically get any information to try to suss out where this book is. It's not going well. They don't find much out besides that Rhys and Feyre are starting to feel a little bit of jealousy towards each other. The flirting is becoming a little too real, and the tensions are high. But on her way back from one of her many jealous encounters, Feyre is walking by this underwater, what do they call it? It's like a shrine? What the priestesses would be in.
Okay.
And
sure.
When the tide comes in and out, it's covered by the water, so you don't really see it unless you're walking at the perfect time of day, such as Feyre is. And as soon as she looks down, she hears that book, and it's saying, "Girl, come get me. Come find me." And it's calling to her, and so she goes immediately to Amren and Rhys and is like, "We have a plan. We need to get this book." They go in there. She is able to open all of the locks using her kernel of power from Tarquin. And she gets in and she hears the book. But as they're getting down there, the tide starts coming in. The place is filling with water.
And I'm holding on.
Literally for dear life. It's the book, and he immediately realizes that she's not Tarquin when she has it in her grasp, and they lock the doors as it's filling with water. Her and Amren are drowning, and for some reason, even though Amren is all powerful, Feyre grabs her, throws her on her back, and is like, "I will save you."
I got
Feyre
you.
loves to become so powerful in a time of
out of
need,
nowhere.
This girl. Somehow she has this fire drake on her back, and she is swimming, even though I'm pretty sure nobody ever taught her how to swim. So they end up getting the door open somehow. I don't even know how.
They get the first door open through, I think, Amryn like throwing her power at it, and then Feyre
Yeah.
obviously like carries her. And then the second door, they are completely unable to get open. And who opens it but a water wraith?
The water wraith. Yes, they are pulled out by the water wraith that Feyre saved in part 1, that she gave her jewelry to so that they could pay the tithe. And the water wraith was like, we told you we'd never forget you. And like, how did you even get here? I don't even know where I am. Like, where is the summer court on a map? And the wraith gets them out and like throws them on the beach, and Rhys is like, literally, what just happened? So they do get the book, and they immediately winnow out of there back to the townhouse, get this book open, and Amryn's like almost in tears, shock, afraid. And she's like, this is the language of my home.
Of like literally another time, like entirely, and they're all like, whoa. And so Rhys is like basically shares that he has been hypothesizing that there could potentially be some sort of spell in there to send Amryn back to wherever she came from. And so Amryn's like extra excited and extra emotional about it, and she's like the only one that can transcribe it, so she's like, gotta get to work, see you guys later.
Gotta get to work. And so at this point, they know that the other half of the book is in with the mortal queens. So they're like, we gotta make a plan for this. They had already been to visit Nesta and Elain to introduce themselves, so that when this plan came to fruition, they had already known each other.
Yeah.
So they go back, and is this where they invite the mortal queen? Is this where the mortal queens show up?
Yeah, so they had like gotten back, and like I think the mortal queens had like accepted their invitation at this point, and they're like, okay, let's go talk to these ladies. And so they go to Nesta and Elain's house. The dad is of course mysteriously gone, and so at this point it's Cassian, Azriel, Mor, Feyre, and Rhys. And their whole goal is to ask the witches to give the other half, the witches, foreshadowing. I don't know why I pictured them as witches when I was reading that.
Their mortal queens are not mortal. I have to say that.
Yeah, they like have magic. They're like, we don't know how old they are.
They don't age. They're vampires.
Something's weird. Something's weird. They're obviously vampires. So they go to talk to the queens, and at this point, Feyre has been dubbed the consort to the mortal lands. Wait, emissary. Why do I keep getting this mixed up?
We know what you would be doing on your. We know what you would be doing on your.
I know what I'd be doing. I wouldn't be an emissary. I'd be a consort. So Feyre becomes the emissary to the mortal lands, and so she is in charge of wheeling and dealing with these mortal queens. Does not go well, spoiler alert. It really goes kind of poorly. Like, these queens are like, shut up, like, you don't know anything. And it turns out they also know about the war coming, and they're like, we've been doing what we need to do in our area to protect ourselves, and that's it.
And like, the mortal queens are not going to be able to, like, at this point, I'm like, what do they think they're doing? Because they have no powers, supposedly.
Supposedly, yeah. But I think they think they're like protected behind their walls. And Feyre, Nesta gets involved. She's like, fuck you guys. Like, and you are so selfish. Like, there's all these people that are going to be losing their lives over here just because you guys can't just fork over this book. And so they shut it down, and they're like, if you can prove to us that Rhys is a good guy and like isn't who people say that he is, then we will consider giving you the book. And I was like, how did this all come down to Rhys being a good guy?
Yeah, why is literally the like life of the whole world on the back of Rhys being a good guy?
And like, the fate of the world depends on these queens if they want to be his consort or not.
Yeah.
What?
So wild. So Rhys decides that the way that he's going to show them that he is a good guy is to prove that he's been protecting Valaris this whole time. And as soon as he said that, I was like, bad
No, bad
idea.
call, bad
Also,
call.
at the same time, Moore is throwing out information she shouldn't be throwing out. She's like, "Oh yeah, you know those people that totally screwed over Jurian, and they're still alive, and they're in hiding on some island to the south." And it's like, why are you word vomiting everybody's secrets to these women?
She also said something about how her like special power is the truth
Yeah,
and like telling the truth, and then didn't say anything after that. I was like,
yeah.
okay, so your power is telling the truth, so that means you need to literally word vomit every secret that you have. Like, what?
I was like,
What's going on?
literally, people have been keeping these secrets for 10,000 years, and you literally gave them up in seconds to these mortal queens that are giving you nothing in return, essentially.
Literally nothing. They're like, haha, we're gonna go back to our castle with all of your
Yeah.
secrets that you shared.
Yeah. So they end up going to get this like magic ball from the Court of Nightmares. It's this whole thing where Rhys like
The
shows off his
Veritas orb.
powers. Yeah, he shows off his powers in the court. It's no big deal. But
It's no big deal. Come on.
While they're
I thought it was
there,
hot.
while they're there, Rhys and Feyre are kind of getting really flirty and touchy, and Feyre does think it's hot. And so
How could you not?
the sexual tension's up 10 notches after they go get this orb.
They are like basically having dry sex on this throne, and then afterwards they get into a huge fight where Feyre like essentially tells him like, why would anyone love him when he's like such a fucking mess? And he is like, oh my God, okay, yeah, I guess I am a mess. Like literally disappears entirely, like doesn't speak to her for like 3 days. And she's like, oh, I completely fucked up. What happened? And then Starfall happens. This thing that happens yearly, specifically in the Night Court, where these like little beings, I can't remember what specifically they are, but they basically look like shooting stars, and they're stars falling from the sky. And this thing that happens in the Night Court that Rhys had to miss for the last 50 years when he was under the mountain. And so this is his first time being back, being with his friends. And of course, this is also when Feyre decides to like pick this stupid fucking fight with him. And so they like end up talking it out, and they almost admit their feelings to each other, like just a little bit. And they like are very clearly showing that they're like, okay, we're into each other. We appreciate each other. They're like sharing their deep, dark secrets about
that they haven't
about how
told
they're
anybody
both
else.
still traumatized, and they both still think about all of these things and whatever. And then they end the night dancing the entire night. She said they danced until the sun came up, and she was like dancing with him, like slow dancing with him, like even while people are like asleep on the balcony. It was very cute.
Yeah, and she
sweet.
somehow still doesn't understand what's happening to her.
She somehow still doesn't understand the thing that's
She's
literally occurring. As we
She's like,
speak.
but still, like, I wonder what's happening with Tamlin. Like,
Okay, actually, what do
girlfriend.
you think about this? Because I feel like at this point she's like plagued with guilt over this Tamlin situation. She's like, I shouldn't
that's why
be.
I'm like,
She's like, I shouldn't be able to move on this quickly. Like,
right.
I shouldn't be feeling these things towards another guy. But like, as I was reading it, I was like, I feel like you were over Tamlin way earlier than you thought that you were, Feyre.
Yeah, I think she was like trying to keep up with societal norms instead of like going with her feelings. Like, she was over Tamlin when he didn't save her under the mountain. Let's be honest.
I don't know. I think she was done with him maybe after like the first time that she came back from the Night Court.
That is being
like
generous. I think it was way before that.
Yeah, but I also think she was like reflecting on the fact that Tamlin was the right guy at the right time for her. And she is obviously a very different person in this book as a result of what happened under the mountain. And so I feel like she feels guilty about that, because she's like, we were both clearly hurting in our own ways and just like didn't share it with each other. And so like we grew apart.
I think Tamlin had the Prince Charming effect, and he was what she needed at that time. He was feeding her family, like being so sweet, like whatever. But everybody knows Prince Charming isn't the one you end up with at the end. You end up with the little rascal.
You end up with the frog, baby. The
yeah,
rascal. You end up with alfalfa.
Yeah, when you figure out who you really are in this world, you don't end up with Prince Charming.
I think we can all admit to that. So after they at Starfall, they're in the Illyrian war camp, And we learn a lot about like the Illyrian practices against women. And Rhys and Cassian have been essentially trying to like reverse a lot of this, where when a woman will come to maturity, like clip their wings so that they're not able to fly, they're not able to fight, they just essentially have to become like submissive women. And so Cassian and Rhys are trying to teach them how to fight so that they can become warriors, can become self-sufficient.
Why did they need to go to this camp in the middle of all of these crises?
Well, because Feyre, the queen still hadn't responded, and that was the next step. And Feyre needed to practice her powers. And so Rhys was like, everywhere I take you, you literally like destroy it. So let's go somewhere where they can't detect you.
Okay.
And also at this point, we've learned that someone out there, we think the King of Hybern, has a tracker on Rhys's magic. And so I think he also was like, I know that I can like fly around these lands. Like I know these parts.
Okay, so they're up in the mountain practicing.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? And Lucian and like 3 like homies just come out of nowhere. Like honestly, I do not know who these 3 men are. Feyre knows who they are. And they've essentially also tracked them somehow. And it's really confusing how everybody's tracking each other at this point. But they're like, Feyre, we've come to save you. Like, we're here to save you. We've been looking everywhere for you. We want to take you back to the Spring Court. Come with us. And she's like, no, I don't want to come with you. I sent a note. I said I was fine. I want to be here. Like, you saw the note, right? And
I forgot about the note.
They're like, no, like, yeah, like, that was probably forged. Like, we're here to save you. Like, are you okay? Is he playing mind games with you? And she's like, God. No. And so they try to, like, attack her and, like, drag her back. And at this point, you're like, Lucian, you are literally the worst. Like, you might be number 10 at this point.
Easily. And
so Rhys shows up and Feyre, and they like fight them collectively, and they fight them off.
So they don't even fight them off. They essentially are like Feyre ends up like conjuring wings, and she's like, "Don't ever try to touch me again.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you will never." She's like pointing at them. She's like, "You will never try to control me again. Like I will never go back to the Spring Court." And Lucian's like, "Feyre, what has become of you?" Like he's like horrified. And basically her and Rhys are like, if you ever step foot in this territory again, you're done. Like, this is it. And they end up disappearing after that.
And so then they continue on their journey, and they're like, this is a long ride. Even though we're flying and we can winnow to where we want to go.
Well, they can't winnow because they can't use Rhys's magic.
Oh, yeah, of course, the air tag. Okay.
Wait, so we didn't even talk about this letter, by the way.
That happened a while ago.
But the fact that Feyre thought that a letter to Tamlin was going to, like, fix everything.
Yeah. That's my point. It's like, that could have been forged. Anybody could have written that. He didn't even know you could write, Feyre. You couldn't read.
It's like, what gave you any indication that this absolute psycho was going to take a letter like that and be like, oh, okay, Feyre's good.
He literally doesn't know she can write. So that was a bad idea on her part. So they fly, and they have to do a stop off because it's a long flight, and they get to an inn. Our favorite trope, the one bed at the inn. The only thing that's left is a small attic at the top of the stairs, and they must share
it can't even fit Rhys's big bad wings. It can't fit his long big wingspan that he
At this point, has Feyre figured out how to put her wings away, or does she also still have her wings?
They like vanished right after she was like pissed at Lucian. Rhys was like, whoa, where'd that come from? She's like, I don't know.
And how do things get so hot and heavy in this moment? I honestly
they're like drinking wine. They're like shivering. Like Feyre's like freezing because it's the dead of winter, and of course this inn doesn't have any heat. And Rhys is like, oh, we can use body heat. And they start doing this like little game that they've been doing throughout this book where they're like, I'll tell you something if you tell me something, like a truth for a truth. And they basically like go right into the deep end on their truths about each other. They're like, I'm thinking right now that I want you, and like I want you so badly, like I can't even think straight.
That was like so wild that she just threw that out first thing. I was like, how much have you drank?
Honestly, I kind of get it. If I saw that big, hunky, hot man in an attic room with some wings, I'd be like, you know what I'm thinking? That I'd like to be your consort pronto.
That I'm committed to being your consort.
That I am committed to this job.
But he's like, I can't
more than I'm committed to anything else.
I can't bed you in here because I don't have enough space to do what I really want to do to you.
Yeah, they like start hooking up and he's like, I actually want to fuck you against a wall. And she's like, ooh. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm listening to this on graphic audio at this point, and my jaw is on the ground. Like, I actually have never cringed so hard. Like, I could not believe what my ears were hearing.
I really don't think that I can listen to spicy scenes on audio. Like, I know there's like a lot of funny memes about that online, but like, I just truly can't. Like, it kind of ruins the whole experience for me.
It was, yeah, I think that's why I like blacked out this romantic bit, because I was like, I need to forget what I just heard.
I need to block this from my brain entirely. Okay, so they have their little night at the end and they wake up like post coitus, like they're like cuddling, and Rhys is like protecting Feyre from the blasting cold with his wings.
Oh yeah.
And they're like flying away. They do more training, and mid-flight.
Boo, 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 boo. I've been waiting for that.
Mid-flight, everyone's caught by surprise, including me. Ash arrows flying into the air, hitting Rhys left and right. They're like pelting his wings. I feel like we're doing the graphic audio right now.
Yeah.
They fall from the sky. He ends up like throwing Feyre like way farther so that she's away from harm. And he ends up getting captured. And so Feyre's like, she goes fucking stealth mode, like out of nowhere. She's like, I am the huntress, and like these are my prey. And so she literally,
no matter like what's going on, if something bad's happening, she turns into Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
She does. So she turns into Lara Croft. She finds Rhys. She kills every single person that stole him. And these turns out to be fucking foot soldiers of King of Hybern, because of course they did the air tag tracking. And they end up all dying at Feyre's hands. She's like, again, Lara Croft. She ends up picking up Rhys, winnowing him to some random cave that she had seen earlier.
She can winnow now too.
She can all of a sudden winnow, like it's literally nothing. And so she winnows him to this cave, and she's like, don't worry, like I'm gonna nurse you to health. And so they spend the night, and he's getting like
I'm gonna nurse you to health. Again, she has no idea how to do that.
She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. So she is like, okay, there's no way I'm gonna be able to winnow by myself like back to the Illyrian camp. Like there's no shot. And so the next day she wakes up, Rhys is getting worse, and she's like, I gotta go figure this out. What does she do? She goes and traps the Suriel again.
Our good old friend, the Suriel.
This time she brings a cloak instead of a chicken. So she's like, Suriel, how do I fix this? He tells her the remedy, and which we learn that she has healing powers potentially from the Dawn Court. Yeah. And so Rhys just needs to like drink her blood, and then he's fine. But then the Suriel, the fucking gossipy bitch that he is like, oh yeah, good luck like saving your mate. And Feyre's like, my fucking what? What did you just say? And he's like, oh, you didn't know. You didn't know. That's so interesting. You didn't know.
I told you to stay with the High Lord.
Oh. And she's like, does he know? And he's like, yeah.
And she's pissed immediately.
She's
it's like,
so pissed.
He's dying, Feyre. Remember, he's dying.
She goes back to the camp. Rhys is literally hanging on by a thread. And she's like, eat this flower and drink my blood. And he's like, okay.
He's like, why are you so mad?
He's like, I'm literally on my last breath right now. And so he like starts to come to immediately. And Feyre's like, no talking out of you. You're only answering my questions. And she like immediately just launches into this thing about how pissed she is that like Rhys lied to her. He kept things from her. All of the inner circle kept things from her. She felt like she was in the dark.
Because they all knew too.
Yep, like she's like, you know, that's the thing that I hated the most about Tamlin was that he kept me in the dark. He didn't trust me enough with information. Why wouldn't you trust me enough? And again, Rhys is like literally on planet Mars at this point. He's like, I'm coming back from the throes of death, and I don't know how to speak to you. And so she's like, winnow us back. So he like
She's
dredges
like,
up his
a single ounce of energy. Use it to get us out of here.
As much as I love Feyre in this book, this part I was like, you are being insane. Like you were losing your fucking marbles.
Screaming at her. I'm like, how do you not see that he didn't tell you? Because he didn't want to put that pressure on you. He was trying not to pressure you like Tamlin does to do things and to feel certain ways and to be certain people. And so he was giving you space to figure this out on your own. Sorry, you're slow and the inner circle's not, and they figured it out as soon as they saw you. Like
Aaron smelled it on you in 4 seconds.
Get up to speed. Forget about Tamlin. Like, let's move on.
Let's just do this, Feyre. Come on. And so which also, that was reminding me of Violet and Iron Flame. Where like everything, she'd be like desperate for information, and then Xaden would like tell her something, and she'd get like pissed when he told her, and she'd be like, "How could you lie to me?" It's like Feyre and Violet, like figure the fuck out.
Hate an FMC that's like angry for no reason, because I also get angry for no reason. But you gotta pick your battles. Like you literally can't pick everything.
Yeah. Someone also needs to tell me that. Someone told me, Feyre and Violet, that you need to pick your battles.
We have to only be angry about select things, or they don't take us as seriously when we're angry.
It's true. It's true. So she's like, winnow me back. And he does. And they like go back to the Illyrian camp. Cassian and Moore are there. And they're like, what the fuck happened? Rhys is like in the mud. He's like, Feyre. And Feyre like doesn't care. Feyre's like, fuck you. And she goes up to Moore and she's like, take me somewhere now. And Moore's like, okay, jeez. So Moore whisks her away, and she takes her to this cabin that they all like would summer at or like go hang out at, whatever.
Right. And it's like the like rich Fae version of a treehouse.
Yeah, they're like, this is where they vacation. And so they go to this cabin. Moore's like, you're safe here. This cabin will give you anything you want. And Feyre's like also pissed at Moore. I'm like, Feyre, you can't make enemies across this inner circle. Like, this isn't right.
Again, you were the one that was too slow to figure this out when everybody else did.
Yeah, like look in the mirror, Feyre. I'm sorry, you actually haven't had a mirror because you were in a cave, but look in the fucking mirror.
Wait, also, I need to ask, why was the cereal exactly where she needed it to be? Like, the cereal was in the spring court when she needed it, and then it was outside of this random cave when she needed it, and it's the same cereal, I assume. It's not like there's 4,000 cereals.
Yeah, and I think both times mentioned that she only had to wait like a few hours for him to show up.
Yeah, so it's like the rates. I'm like, where are these people coming from? How are they sniffing her out?
Maybe they also have an air tag on Feyre.
Yeah, and she's like, this girl's always in desperate need for help, so we better keep
track
of her.
Is ready to give us chicken and jewelry and a cloak.
A warm cloak.
So Feyre goes to the cabin. She spends like 3 days there, and she realizes the error of her ways. She realizes that she should have picked some battles that she did not pick, and she should not have picked the one that she did. And so
about your mate, your soulmate that you're tied to
literally
forever.
Your soulmate who like quite literally brought you back from the throes of fucking depression, but whatever. So she decides to like spend her time like painting around the cabin. And at this point, I'm like, Feyre, I don't understand your level of painting acumen.
No.
But if I were the owner of this very fancy, like architectural digest decorated cabin, I would be fucking pissed.
Furious. I was reading that, and it literally sounds like she's doing a paint by number on these people's walls to ceiling to floor. Like she is painting every inch of this home that Moore told her specifically holds a ton of memories.
Moore shows up and she's like, oh,
I see you've been busy. Oh, I would be like, you're out. You're going in the Cauldron.
Yeah, immediately. Like, what the fuck? So she does her little finger paints, and Rhys finally shows up, and they essentially end up having this, like, confessional over like soup. Like
Soup?
Feyre's like a soup confessional. Sponsored by Campbell's.
Yeah.
Feyre's like, I can't cook, but I can heat you up some soup. And she's like, I have a can right here. And Rhys is like, what? And she's like, what the fuck is just soup? And he's like, well, traditionally, when someone accepts a mating bond, they offer food. And I was like,
Which is so weird.
This is so weird. I was like, why is this included?
Like, you think that the mating bond would be like, I don't know, like sex or something.
Probably, but no, it's just soup. And so
Yeah.
Feyre's like, fine, you have until I heat up this soup to explain yourself.
Oh, yes. I've been waiting to hear this explanation too because I forget and Cassie remembers.
So Rhys launches into this full story, like literally starting from the like first war to now. And he goes into this full detail about how essentially, like, I'll skip a lot of it, but he essentially like starts to feel connected to this brain that he doesn't know. Like he only sees this like human hand and like through her, either through her dreams or like he's getting like random like visions through her eyes. And he's like seeing Feyre like painting her dresser. And as we know, the dresser, she painted a drawer for Elain that was of like a garden. She painted one for Nesta that was like the fire flames. And then she painted the night sky for herself. And
shocking.
I'm shocked. Which apparently that was Rhys was involved in that. Like he kind of like sent a like little vision back to her of like the Valaris sky. And so that's what she ended up painting. And so basically like that was when his connection with Feyre started. And he starts to like progressively see more of her dreams as he's under the mountain. He like doesn't understand who this is. And then Calamai happens and he goes and then sees her. And then like that's when he knows. He's like, shit. Damn it, like this is my mate. So they keep having these like bonded moments, like essentially like throughout when she like leaves, which he was the one that was the catalyst to getting Tamlin to send her home. Like that's why he even like showed up at the house, was to scare the shit out of him so that he would send her back to the mortal realm, because Rhys was like, I know what this Amarantha bitch is like, and Feyre should be nowhere near her. And so this is where he like started protecting her. And then they're under the mountain. We all know what he did under there. Like he sends her like music, like he like kept her alive the whole time, all of that stuff. And then once they kill Amarantha, then we know that the mating bond had snapped into place when he's like about to go to Valaris, and he's like shocked and then disappears.
So and that's when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. And so apparently when he gets back to the night court, he like hasn't seen Mor in literally 50 years. She has no idea what the fuck is going on. She's there waiting for him and he's like, she's my mate. I found my mate. She's my mate. And Mor's like, who?
Mor's like, where have you been?
She's like, bro, you're pale and you're supposed to be golden tan.
What? Are you okay? What's happened? Are we all free? Like, I don't even think the news has spread at this point, maybe.
No. So that's the first thing he says. And basically he goes into like how he had to deal with like seeing Feyre throwing up and getting sick and like her health declining and like live through that and then live through like knowing that she was in love with Tamlin and that he would have to deal with that and he had accepted it and all of these things. And so basically this all culminates into like him essentially telling her, which not essentially, he literally tells her, he's like, through all of these trials and tribulations that we've gone through in the last handful of months, like I've fully fallen in love with you. And she's like,
the soup is boiling.
The soup is ready. The soup is 250 degrees at this point.
He has told a very long story. That soup is molten lava.
This soup confessional was piping hot. So Feyre, that's all she has to hear, obviously. She only needs a full confessional and then she's convinced. So she is like, eat your soup. And he's like, oh shit.
She's giving me food.
Oh my God. And so he's literally like eating, his mouth has to be like scalding hot, but he's like, I don't care. He like doesn't break eye contact with her, finishes the entire bowl of soup. And she's like, I'm in love with you. And I would be honored to be your mate. And it's like, yeah, duh.
No way. You had to ruin this whole house to figure that out.
So they end up having sex. They end up like really solidifying their mating bond. They're like in a
Yeah.
literal sex marathon over the
Because
next like 24
it's
hours.
just like Twilight when after they got married on their
True.
honeymoon and they couldn't stop themselves.
When
Yep.
they're in Brazil. Oh wait, no, they're
Yep.
back from Brazil.
They're back from Brazil. They're back and they are on a marathon. And that's what they said about the mating bond too, is it makes you
Yeah.
feral for each other. And it also
Feral.
makes the man get very protective.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So after that, they're like, okay, we have to go back to real life because turns out the witches have accepted our second invitation and we're ready to go.
The mortal
The witches,
queens.
the queens.
The
I
mortal
can't
queens.
stop calling them the witches.
The
Okay,
mortal
Emily,
queens.
what happens
And
with the mortal
this
queens?
is what I've been waiting for.
Let's
They
go.
go and they take the Veritas orb to the mortal queens, and the only ones that show up are like the golden-haired one and one of the other ones. Honestly, who cares? And they show them the orb, and they see Valaris, and they're like, oh my gosh. And they're like, but we're still not going to give you that book. And everybody's like, what? We just showed you our secret. What are you talking about? And so they leave, and after they leave, they see like a glint under the chair or something like that. And they see that the golden-haired young mortal, I keep wanting to call them queens now, mortal queen.
No,
Yes.
it's a queen.
Yeah. Yes, mortal queen.
How can we explain the bone carver, the weaver? Like, we can explain all these fucking crazy creatures, but we literally cannot speak to a mortal queen.
Has left the second half of the Book of Breathings, and inside there's a note that was like, it was actually your love letter that touched me. And it's like, why do we have to go through all of that?
It's insane. Crazy
and so they
queens.
take the book back to, right? They take the book back to the townhouse.
Yep.
And they now have the 2 parts, and you take it from here because I honestly am twisted beyond confusion.
Oh my God.
It's bad.
Okay, it's bad. Okay, so they come back, and after this, Amren is like going into full translation mode, and she's like, okay, what does this say? What is this telling us? Whatever. And so while they're waiting for her, and also meanwhile, during like basically all of this, Feyre decides that she wants to start training with Cassian. And so she starts learning how to fight. She starts learning how to use weapons. She gets stronger. Like she gets closer to Cassian, which is cool. And then she's also training her powers with Rhys. And so she's like getting way better at all of these things. And so as all this happens, she's like doing that. She's like kind of understanding a little bit more about like the mating bond, all of that good stuff. And then meanwhile, I think Rhys has to like go on like a little something, a little trip.
Yes.
I don't know. We don't know where he goes.
This part's so confusing to me.
We don't know where Rhys is off to. He's off to somewhere with Cassian and Azriel. Or wait, no, Cassian's there. He goes off to somewhere on High Lord business.
Yeah.
And Feyre is just taking a little stroll through Valaris with Cassian. They just like went to the theater. They're having a nice afternoon. And all of a sudden they're like, hold up, what the fuck is out there? And it's an adder attack.
The skies
4
have
million
opened.
adders coming at them. And they're like, oh, fuck. And so Feyre,
at this point, you're like, as a reader, you're like, I know that it was those stinking queens because they're the only ones that know Valaris exists. Like, it took them less than a day to turn around and stab them in the backs.
The mortal queens I think this is why I keep calling them witches, because I'm like, they are literal witches. And so
then you're like, we know you shouldn't have showed them Valaris, and more also shouldn't have told them where Miriam is.
Yeah. Correct. So they kill the queen that had given them the other half of the book also. Like she ends up getting like thrown into Valaris and like impaled on like a lamppost or something.
Yeah.
And so literally, so there's a full scale attack on Valaris, and it's literally just Feyre, Amren, and Cassian who have powers that are ready to defend this city.
Because these people have never had to protect themselves. So they are literally like artists and merchants. They have no idea what to do.
They're like sweet, gentle-handed people. And so the city is just under siege. The Hybern soldiers are everywhere. These fucking adders are literally everywhere. Feyre, out of nowhere, just comes into her own. She's like literally making like wolves out of water. She's like winnowing everywhere. She's like using shadow. I'm like, who are you? Where did any of this come from? And also,
crazy.
why are you making them wolves? Like, what was
so
the
crazy.
relevance?
She's like literally covering them
wolves on you.
She was like covering them in water and then freezing them until they crackled and broke into pieces. I was like, you're going off.
Or she would like suck the water out of them, or like she would like drown them with the water. I was like, oh, okay. And so she is specifically protecting the artist quarter. And by now, Asriel's joined the fight, but Rhys isn't there yet. And so Feyre is like killing all of these things, whatever. And she ends up clearing her space. But the one thing that gets away is the OG adder. And she's like, hell no, absolutely not. You will not escape me another time. And so she ends up winnowing to literally on top of the adder. Like he's like flying in the air away from her. And she winnows on top of him, and she's like, pulls out her knife and just starts stabbing the shit out of him. She's like, this is for Rhys. Like, this is for so-and-so. This is for so-and-so. She's like, this is for me.
It's for me. She was a feral woman at this point. Like,
she was bloodthirsty at this point.
Broke inside of her when she saw Rainbow Bridge covered in blood.
Rainbow Bridge.
That's what it was.
The second she saw artists under attack, she's like, absolutely not. Yeah. And this whole time, Rhys is like trying to communicate with her, like mind to mind. And he's like, Feyre, no. And she like shuts him out. And I was like, damn, this bitch, to your point, she went off the deep end in a great way. Yeah. And so she ends up killing the adder, and they all come back together after this attack. And everyone's obviously very deeply upset and traumatized because this has never happened in Velaris before. And so they're like, we have to go to Hybern tomorrow. Like, we can't wait another moment. And Aemond's like
things
cool.
Pick up quickly after this.
Yeah, so Aemond's like decoded it. They're like, we're going. Here's the plan. We're going to go in. We're going to find the cauldron. Feyre's going to speak the spell, and then we're going to get the fuck out. And so, which is hilarious that this is how they planned it out. I was like,
yeah, they think it's going to be so simple.
Yeah, and like literally the Hybern King has had an AirTag tracker on Rhys, and you all think that you can just like casually come into his home and like steal a cauldron.
Yeah, I really didn't understand that. Yeah.
That didn't make any sense. So they try to go in, and of course it doesn't work. Feyre ends up like having this weird like mental spiral when she touches the book, and also is like right near the cauldron, and so she can't speak the spell for whatever reason. She like can't get it out, and so that obviously completely fucks up their plan. And Hybern comes in, and who else comes in? Jurian. Jurian has been made whole again, has been made into a human again.
And he remembers everything. He's like, Rhys
started from the ring, now I'm here. Yeah. He's like, oh, Amaranthus whore. Rhys is like, shut the fuck up.
And he's like, I was there.
At least I had a body.
Yeah, he was like, I watched all of that. And Rhys was like, can we not? This is not the time.
So Jurian's there, and he's like, you know what? I'm ready to fucking take over this world again. Like, haha. And they're all like, oh shit. And so the King of Hybern brings them up to this like chamber and they bring up the cauldron too.
Yeah.
And they end up shooting Asriel with this poisonous ash arrow. And they essentially, I know, poor baby Asriel. They use him as a fucking
Why did they
pawn.
take him? Why him of all people?
Because everyone loves him the most. You know how there's like that person in a group or a family where you're like, that person is like just loved the most in general. Yeah. It's like we all love everyone, but like that person is like, you know, like that's Asriel. I feel
for the inner circle, like they feel most protective over him.
Yeah, I think so. And the King of Hybern's like, if you make one fucking shisty move, I will kill this man. And they're like, okay, we can't make any moves because we love him too much. And so then the king just starts revealing things left and right. He's like, I've been working with the queens all along. Ha ha ha. And they would like to become immortal also, like Feyre became immortal. And guess who else I've been working with? Tamlin.
This man could not get any worse, and he continues to get worse. Like, I don't know what else he could possibly do.
As it turns out, Tamlin, in exchange for breaking Feyre's bargain with Rhys, was basically ready to like give him anything. I can't even remember what Tamlin said the deal was. Like, was he just like giving up like Feyre's location? Like, what was he up to?
He was definitely like trying to give insider information.
He was like a part of the AirTag crew. So
Yeah.
Tamlin's there, and so is Lucian. Fucking bitch ass Lucian, I swear to God. So they're all there, and the queens show up and they're like, ha ha ha, you're all trapped. Like, good luck. And meanwhile, all of their powers are nullified because the king like put some sort of spell on the whole whatever.
Of course.
And of course. And so, you know, he's doing his evil villain, like revealing of his entire plan. And he also
like, this was a
decides
trap.
to be
You all fell for it.
Yeah. And so the queens were like, well, we need proof that this is going to work before we go into the cauldron. And he's like, the king of Hybern's like, well, I have your proof. Bring the sisters forward. Nesta and Elain are here, bundled up.
I cannot believe
gagged,
this part.
Blindfolded. They're like in their nightgowns, like their nighties, like pulled from their beds, clearly.
The queens are like, Nesta was screwed the moment she opened her mouth.
Yeah, the queens are like, yeah, fuck you. And you know who gave them up? Ianthe. Ianthe's bitch ass.
I thought it was the queens.
No, it was Ianthe, because I guess the king of Hybern told her that he thinks that high priestesses should be ruling the lands instead of high lords. And so Ianthe is just thirsty for power, desperate for power, and she's like, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna give you the one thing that I know will kill Feyre.
How do all of these pawns not realize that the king of Hybern's literally telling them whatever they want to hear and is never gonna follow through with any of it?
Not once do any of them question it. Like Tamlin was genuinely shocked.
Yeah.
Tamlin is shocked when the sisters come in. He's like, this wasn't a part of the deal. And Hybern's like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care what you thought was a part of the deal. Tamlin doesn't know what's going on. It's literal mayhem. Feyre's on the ground just begging. She's like, please don't do this to them. The king is like, whatever, send them into the cauldron. And so Elain is sent in first.
Of course, the weakest link.
Of course. The weakest link. They're like, she'll go down without a fight. It's fine. They send Elain into the cauldron. She comes out a fairy, a full-blown high fae. And everyone's like, oh, it works, but let's try it again. So then they're like, but
let's try it one more time. Run it back.
But run it back. Let's just verify. So then they're like, send Nesta in. Nesta is not going down without a fight. She is like clawing these soldiers. She's like punching people. She's kicking. She's trying to kick the cauldron over. And they're like, just literally stuff her head in there. Like, get her in. Just get in the cauldron. And she's like, no. And so she literally goes down, pointing at the king of Hybern. Like, literally, she's like,
and at this point, you're like just cheering.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I am obsessed with her. She's like, you just signed your fucking death warrant, King of Hybern. Like, you're done.
Like, go ahead and make me a fairy. I'm about to blow your ass up when I get out of here.
I'm coming back for you, okay? And so she goes into the cauldron. She comes out also a high fae, and she's just pissed. And, like, they all realize they're like, something happened in there. Like, the cauldron is not happy right now when she, like, the cauldron, like, starts spitting or something when she gets out. And I think Feyre says something about like them wondering if she like took something from the cauldron or not. And so clearly they've proven their test. These two girls come out and everything is fine. Meanwhile, all of this mayhem is going down and Feyre's like, no more bloodshed. Like, I can't handle any more of this. I cannot do this. And she's like playing this little trick on the king of Hybern because he doesn't know the extent of her powers. And so as all this crazy shit's going down, she's like, okay, I'm going to break down the wards that are happening right here. Like, I've broken the shackles of
the fact
the
that
magic.
She can break wards at this point is wild.
Crazy. She's like, I've literally broken the entire ward, all of these wards. No one knows. No one has any idea. She's like literally just completely foiled the entire plan of the King of Hybern. No one knows. And so as she does this, she's like communicated this to no one. Elain is off to the side just sobbing. And Lucian, out of nowhere, like goes and is like, oh, lady, like, please get up. And he's like, oh, she's my mate.
And you're like, Lucian, you suck so bad. I literally don't want to hear you say a peep, and especially not that. Especially not that.
Lucian, go the fuck away. Like, no one wants you here right now.
Get out of Prithian. Go back. Go to the human world, honestly.
Nesta's like, I swear to God, if you come near my sister, I will literally bite your head off. Like, absolutely not. And he's like, and
Elaine's like, oh my God, I'm engaged to a man that hates fairies. What am I going to do?
Elaine's like, I'm literally still wearing my iron engagement ring right now. And so Feyre basically launches this Oscar-winning performance, actually. Like, the first time that I read this book, she really got me. Like, she was like...
The second time I read this book, she got me.
Yeah, Emily was literally she got by Feyre multiple times, which again, like, Oscar worthy. So she is like, no more bloodshed, no more of this. Like, Tamlin, please take me home. Rhys has tricked me. He's used his mind tricks on me, his mind games.
Which is what Tamlin wanted to hear the whole time.
Which is what Tamlin wanted. And so she's like, King of Hybrid, please break the bond. Please do it. Like, I beg of you. And so the king's like, fine, here you go. And so he breaks the bond, air quotes. And Rhys is also playing his part. He plays a really good, like, supporting actor in this whole thing. Where he's
at
like,
this point, you think he doesn't know because, like,
that's what I'm saying. Great supporting actor, maybe great lead actor. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And so, of course, stupid Tamlin falls for it. Lucian, this is the only time he's smart. Lucian's like looking at her sideways. He's like, bitch.
But now the sister is his mate, so he's got to be nice to her now.
He's got to play nice. So she's like, please, like, take me back, like, take me to the spring court, take me away from him. And lo and behold, she's like making eyes at Moore and Rhys, and she's like, I know that they understand. I know what they know what's happening. And all of a sudden, Moore catches on, and she like just goes and grabs Nesta and Elain, winnows them out. Rhys winnows Cassian and Azriel out, and the whole night court is gone. And they're all like, no. Feyre's like, I'm shocked. What has happened? So she's like, take me home, Tamlin, please take me home. And he takes her to the spring court. But we cut super quick to Rhys's POV at the night court, where everyone's like, where the fuck is Feyre? We need to go get her.
We gotta go back.
Amren's like, we gotta get your mate. What's wrong with you? And he's like, we're not getting her because she's not just my mate. She's also the High Lady of the Night Court.
I just got chills literally when you said it again. I was literally screaming.
And the High Lady of the Night Court, as we speak, is in enemy territory playing spy master.
The mating bond was not broken.
He just broke the bargain because he's a little idiot. And so he reveals that the night before, him and Feyre had gone to a high priestess and solidified their whole thing, and Feyre became the High Lady of the Night Court, which she is the first High Lady ever.
All rights and whatever you would say.
We love.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to Feyre at the spring court, and she's like, Tamlin, oh my God, like, thank you for taking me back. And she's like, but you have to include me on stuff from now on. Like, you have to bring me in on things. And the whole time Lucian's like, what? Like, what's happening? And Tamlin's like, it'll be different this time. I swear it's going to be different. And she's like, okay. And then that's where we leave off. At the end of the book,
we end the book like the same way it started, in a way, like back in the spring court. Feyre wants to be included in things. Tamlin's an idiot. Lucian's an idiot. We're kind of back to where we started, and you're like, where could this possibly go?
The big difference this time is that Feyre knows her worth. She knows who she is. Yep. She's ready to be the wolf in the whatever. I don't know what the phrase is, but she's ready to be one of her fucking water wolves as the High Lady of the Night Court. Oh my God, I'm so excited to get into the character rankings.
Oh God, I am very intrigued to hear how you do these.
Okay, so we have 12 because we added Nesta and Elain.
No, we have 10 because we took out Ianthe and Alice.
Oh, true. Okay, so we still have 10. So we have Tamlin, Feyre, Lucian, Nesta, Elain, Rhys, Moore, Cassian, Amren, and Azriel.
Yep.
Okay, 10. Tamlin.
10 Tamlin, 100%, but I like hesitated because I wanted to say Lucian because like, oh my God.
I know. Lucian is definitely number 9 for sure. Like a hard 9, but I can't Tamlin is so much worse than him.
The Tamlin selling her out just to like get her back. I'm like, in what universe is that going to work out for you?
I'm like, you tiny, tiny little man. Like, how could you literally run to daddy, to fucking daddy King Hybern to get your girl back? Like, she wrote you the letter. She wrote you the fucking letter. She ran away from the spring court. Like, she has made it extremely and abundantly clear that she don't want you. And
she told Lucian with her wings, get out of here.
With her wings. And then the second that she gives you an Oscar-worthy performance, you just go for it. You take the bait. Like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yes,
but then Lucian also twerpy
little dork.
Literally until the last minute.
Oh, the second that which obviously the mating thing is not his fault. I can understand that. But like, just the timing of that was just... so bad.
It was
I was like, Sarah, why you gotta do him like that? Like, she did him dirty with that.
I really am excited to read that storyline though, because it's like a different version of like the mating bond. It's like, just because he said she's his mate doesn't mean she has to accept it. She doesn't know him.
Well, and I feel like that's the thing that like they keep being like, the mating bond, it's so rare. But then it's like, you don't actually talk about the fact that having the mating bond and being in love with that person is what's rare.
Yeah.
Like, realistically.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know? So
Also, do you think people can fake the mating bonds? Like, Lucian just is sitting there like, oh, you're my mate. But like, where's the evidence?
Show your evidence.
Was he putting on an Oscar-winning performance?
I don't know. We had no evidence from Rhys until the soup confessional, so we have no idea.
Yeah, I need to know like if there's like a snap that happens that makes people believe it.
I'm intrigued.
No,
okay,
honestly,
next.
like 8 through 1 is going to be tough for me. All these people, well, not really tough, but okay.
Kinda.
I know what I want to say. I know what I want to say.
All right, my next one is obviously going to be Elain.
Mine is too, but I really want to softly say that because she did start to speak up a little bit this book.
Sure. Yeah, she did.
When they came to the house and they were like, we need to get rid of these servants so that we can like take over this place like as a like war room basically, she was like immediately on it. And then when the mortal queens came in, she was like, I'm ready to perform.
Yeah, that's true. She also was like trying to be really accepting of these fairies who she was like trained to fear and despise. So yes, I totally agree. But like out of everyone else, I'm like, she's not gonna be higher. Soft 8. Okay.
I also have to give a soft 7 as well because I am going to say something.
Are all of these gonna be soft?
I'm gonna say something that's really gonna hurt my heart and soul. And I have to give a soft 7 to Nesta just because.
Whoa.
I know, just because she really didn't show up until like the last chapter and she did the most badass thing possible, but I don't think that this is her time to be at the top of the list.
Oh, I mean,
be honest with yourself. Yeah. All she did was tell the queens to F off, and then she last chapter made a scene.
I guess, but then her and Cassian like kind of had their little banter starting. I don't know. I agree. I will give her 7. I agree with you. Okay, after that, I think I'm gonna put more.
I was too. That's why I was laughing because I was like so mad at her for her whole I'm Morgan, the truth teller, and I am gonna tell you where my best friends are hiding right now that have been hiding for centuries, and
he was so weirdly protective over this Miriam character that we literally do not know.
Cassie, if you were like, I need you to keep my secret for the rest of your life to keep me and my family alive and nobody can know, no chance I'm giving it up to some mortal queen's like first push.
No chance.
No chance.
Yeah, I think I really loved her, but I felt like the summer court dynamics with Amryn, like I really
Yeah.
loved. So
Yeah.
Amryn is my next one, I
No
think.
way.
Mm-hmm.
I am putting Asriel and Cassian below Amryn.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Mine
don't know. Amber's just like not my character, I think. Like I really like her, but I think I'm too obsessed with Azriel and Cassian.
I loved Amryn in the summer court when she was like flirting with Varian, like showing her soft side. She was also being like super friendly with Feyre, and they were like having their connection. And then that whole journey they went on with the almost drowning was like a badass scene.
It was. I agree. I do really love her, but I love the bad boys more.
So you're putting the bad boys
Sorry.
above Amwyn?
Yeah. Amyn?
Amwyn?
Yes,
Amy?
my next one would be Azriel and then Cassian.
For what reasons?
Asriel, because I feel like in this back half of the book, like he was like silently supporting Feyre here and there. Like I felt
Yeah.
like he was always like randomly there to like give her like the eyes or like give her like a supportive like something. And you see a lot more of that in the next book, but I loved that like that started to come
Again, you're
through.
thinking ahead. You're thinking ahead.
Sorry, it started in this book. And then I think Cassian would be next because, to your point, like they were training together. We got to know a lot more of like his personality and like his
Yeah.
little dramatic flair. I loved him being like overprotective of the girls in the Illyrian camp. Like,
Yeah, that
all
was,
of that
yeah,
stuff.
I did love that.
I love him. I love them. So
I
sorry.
agree with the order of like Asriel then Cassian.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, this is where it gets hard.
My number 2 this time around is Rhys, and my number 1 is Feyre. And I said I would never give this girl that number 1 spot, but
You literally just said this.
I said I would never give her the number 1
Never.
spot. But she was like so strong, such a badass. Her character arc in this was so good. The Oscar-winning performance, though,
Truly.
is what puts her at number 1. Like she had me tricked. My jaw was on the floor.
Yep. She tricked everyone, and
Yeah.
it was so amazing. I had the same ranking. This was just Feyre's book. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
You deserved to shine. You deserved to like have your moment, and this was it. This was it for her.
And Rhys is like always like there at number 2 because he's just like
Yeah.
always a great guy. He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
Why'd they
He's
need
such
so
a
much
good guy.
proof? Why'd they need so
I
much
feel
proof?
like, yeah, why'd they need fucking Valaris to prove it? I think that he probably like intentionally through this whole book was more of a like supporting act for her like getting better, for her coming into her own,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
all the things. But I do feel like he becomes like more front and center in the next book.
Excited
So that's
to
where I'm like,
see.
I do feel comfortable giving Feyre the top spot here, even though that's
this
my
was.
man's.
I think you're right. This was her book. This is where we see a turning point for her.
Go Feyre.
Yeah.
This is your book. This is your book, darling. You did great. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up with some Easter eggs and foreshadowing. Honestly, we got the big stuff, I think, in part 1, but there were a couple of things.
Yeah.
The first was, like I mentioned, Cassian and like how he was acting around Nesta. Like it was just there was a very clear like pull with both of them very early on.
Right. And do you feel, and again, please remember, I do not actually know the answer to this question.
Okay.
So maybe don't ruin it for me, but I'm like, wait, did he know?
Maybe don't answer.
Did he know there was a mating bond? Like, was that why he was like so like struck by her at first?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think because they like talk about it in the 5th book, but I don't think that was when he knew.
Because like as soon
think
as he
he
saw
knew-
her in the house, he was like,
Oh, hey,
Hey.
howdy,
oh.
who dat? She's like, "Arr." She's like literally baring her fucking teeth at him, and he's like, damn.
And now that
I
we
like
see
that.
how fast the mating bond can snap in place with Lucian and Elain, I'm like,
True.
yeah.
True. There was also a part that I had highlighted. I don't have my Kindle, so I can't pull up the exact quote. But when they go to see Elain and Nesta for the first time, they're like sitting at dinner, and Feyre says something to the effect of like, I could see Elain and Azriel together. Like I could see
Oh
them in their like
yeah.
quiet, like whatever to get like she specifically calls the two of them out.
Yeah.
And I was like, interesting. Because
Interesting.
as we know, potentially for the next book, it might be Elaine's book.
Yeah.
And people think that she's going to end up with Azriel, but then a lot of other people don't think so.
Yeah, a lot of people think that Gwen is one of the people that he might end up with, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Spoiler.
I just thought that was
Spoiler.
spoiler. I thought that was interesting foreshadowing though, because I was
That
like, huh,
is
why is Feyre specifically calling? She didn't even say anything about Cassian and Nesta.
so the thing with this is this book was written in probably like 2017, I would have to
Yeah.
guess. And it's now 2025 when ACOTAR 6 is being written. And it's
Yeah.
like, what if she changed her mind? Like maybe she did write that genuinely thinking Elain and Azriel are going to be together, but then she changed her mind along the way.
Yeah. I don't know. That could fully happen, like 100%. I mean, I feel like it's been so long that she probably like does read fan theories and like does see what the fans want. And so who knows?
She might have not even known she was going to write these other extra characters that could be with Azriel when she was writing this book.
True. I guess we'll see. But
consider
Feyre
that.
in Feyre's book said that she
Feyre's
thinks
book.
that they should be together.
Feyre, the truth teller.
Feyre, the truth teller. She's not telling the truth about fucking Miriam, I'll tell you that.
Let me tell you exactly where everything's hidden that you've ever wanted to know the answer to. What is our rating?
Oh, you're right. Hard 5. Are you kidding? Oh my God.
Like, kicking my feet, screaming, smiling, texting my best friend. This is making me feel so good. I teared up at one point. Like, this was such a comfort read I didn't even know I needed. And if this isn't all of the reasons to go pick this up, please do. Even if you struggled through ACOTAR, get to this book. It's all worth it. 5 stars. It
will change the game. I mean, Emily was in a full-blown reading slump before this, and now she's reading like a crazy person, like a fiend
I'm addicted
after this.
to television, and there's multiple shows out I want to watch right now, and I would dare not touch my controller because all I want to do is read.
I dare not. No, I totally agree. I think like our other pieces, our book club potential. I think if you are reading the series, this is a good one. It might take you a little long as like a collective unit to get through it.
Yeah.
But it could be fun. I don't know. I would probably give it like a mid. Book Hangover is strong with this one.
Book Hangover strong. I would have to say it is a long book, and I will, for the general public, like you said, the book club, tough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you have to really just be committed to reading the series if you're doing this for a book
club.
But solo, great read.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And then Spice. I would probably give this like maybe a 2.
Oh,
2
really?
Chili pepper. Maybe 1.5.
Listen to the finger bang on graphic audio, you would give it at least 3.75.
I mean, those were the only 2 spicy scenes, technically. Like,
yeah, that's why I said 3.75, but go back and listen to that scene and your toes will be curling.
Yeah, maybe. I think on the whole, though, this would be like a 2 max. Well, we loved this book, clearly. If you are thinking about if you're thinking about continuing along with us, please check back because previously my rating really shifted and the 3rd book became my like all-time favorite of the whole series. But after reading this, again, I don't know. It's got a lot to contend with. So we'll see.
Yep. Love it.
Yep. Okay.
You guys have to tune in next week. We're going over Project Hail Mary to say, should this be your next book club book? And we are specifically listening to the audio because it becomes highly recommended. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. And we will see you back here. Same time, same place. Bring your blankets, bring your book boyfriends, and we'll see you then.
See ya.